It will be 2 matches away in Bosnia, in Albania. I think October, November did show that we're on the good way. There's a positive dynamic. And my job is just to make this dynamic going through March till June, and I hope the players now really got the fact that there are important things on the pitch, and for me the first one is always the discipline, and they have shown a strong discipline the last 3-4 matches, and I hope it's going to be the same because that's the only way we can have success, and we all hope about good success this year in Nations League. But for that we have to be prepared. We just can't just come in June and say, okay, let's play with discipline and solidarity, team spirit. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to prepare that, and so March is the best preparation for us for June. Friendly games are always made for gives you the opportunity to try certain things, to see some players, because you're more focused on what you can achieve and not the result. But yeah, this time there's quite a lot of change compared to November in the last list. It's not always a wish from myself, but it's also a situation. You know, sometimes players are in a good shape, sometimes they are not in a good shape. So we have to take some decisions, and but for sure the players who are going to come will be fully motivated and ready to have 2 good games in order to get the best preparation for June. No, of course, Jabba was the captain and a very important player to the national team for over a decade, which is very, very long, and we are all very grateful for what he has done in the last 15 years with the national team. He has decided now to stop the national team. We all have to stop one day, and I think we have to respect his decision. You know, after such a career with your national team, it's quite, I think, important to stop when you're still at the top, because you want the people to keep a good image of you. He wants the people to remind him as a fighter, as a great captain, and I was very privileged to be his coach for a year. Some other players also are not here. Rocholava, him and his family have been hit badly by this war, and at the moment we can all understand that his head is not focused too much on football, and we have to accept that. I'm always in contact with him, try to give him all my support, and it's a difficult situation, and we have to stay behind him. We have to help him, and I'm sure in some weeks, some months, he will restart his career in a normal way. Some other players also are not here, like Chakvetadze, for example, who we really have to remind that he had 3 very difficult years behind him. And I think the priority for him at the moment is to build his body, to be an athlete again, to be a football player again, to be able to play 90 minutes every 4 days, which he can't do it still at the moment. And I think it's very important that first he thinks about himself and his body, because the body is the machine for a football player, and he needs to have a great body for that. We have been in contact with him and with his club in the last days and weeks, and we all agree together that he has to, as I said before, build himself, build his body again, build his body back, because in June we will have 4 matches, and we all hope that we need a Chakve who's fit. A Chakve who's fit can help us, and that we all want for June. Some other players like Adzarov also got a red card at the last match against Uzbekistan, so he was suspended for one match. I took also the decision to not take him for the second match either, because it's also Adza has to understand that there are certain things he can do on the football pitch and certain things he can't do. Such a reaction in a friendly match or in an official match will never happen. In October, November, I was very satisfied very happy from his performance on the pitch. I think he had a good improvement last year, and I hope he's going to be the same also in the next months. But it was also my responsibility also to show him there are things you can't do in football, and so he's paying a bit for that, but it's learning and it will help him in his whole career. So with all these players missing, it also gives us the opportunity to call back certain players or to call new players, like Mekvabishvili. We've been following him the last 12 months, and he's playing all the time with Dynamo Tbilisi. And I think because also Jabba Kankava was retiring, I thought it was a kind of logic that an old player is leaving, a new player has to come. And I think he deserved that. He deserved to be at least to show us what he can, but he should come with us with confidence and just look at a lot, look at Kvekverskiri, Guilia, Borjania, who are players with a bit more experience, and I'm sure in a near future he's going to be a player that the national team can count on. We've got also some other players missing. I'm thinking first about Georgi Kvilitaya, who was in a fantastic shape the last weeks, months. He scored a lot of goals, and I was very happy because I could see he was really improving. He was playing with efficiency, and I would have been very happy to have him, but unfortunately since now 2-3 weeks he has to play. He can't train anymore with his team, he just can play the weekend, but with medicine, which is quite dangerous also for the future. And as I told Georgi, he should first think about his body, make himself fit again without any pain, because I'm sure in June he's going to help us a lot. Then we got other players like Okri. Okri had a ankle problem and then now a hamstrings problem. There are also signals to say that he does need a rest, he does need to recover to be able to train and play at 100%. Because we've seen also in the last months that Okri could help us only if he was 100% fit, and that's what I wish for him. So it's kind of giving a break to these players and to use these 10-12 days of break to regenerate and to come back as strong as before.